So there was a pretty hilarious moment at an Elizabeth Warren event. There's a right-wing guy here who goes up to her to ask her a question. In reality, he's not asking a question. He's playing gotcha, which ironically is something that the right always accuses the left of doing. You guys do gotcha politics all the time. Well, this is exactly what that is. So there will be no criticisms of him, though, because he's on their team, so it's okay when they do it. But he is really triggered and really mad about the issue of debt relief. So let's see what he says. It's a little hard to hear, but if you pay attention, you could kind of get what he's saying here. And either way, I'll tell you when we come back what he said. Take a look.
My daughter's getting out of school. I saved all my money. She doesn't have any student. Am I going to get my money back? So you're going to pay for people who didn't save any money, and those of us who did the right thing get screwed. Of course we did. My buddy had fun, bought a car, went on vacation. I saved my money. He made more than I did. But I worked a double shift, worked extra. My daughter's working is 10. So you're laughing at her. Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. We did the right thing, and we get screwed.
I love how he thinks he's virtuous with his anger. You're laughing at it. And then he, walks out really angrily. Nothing like an angry walk where you could, see that they're angry as they walk. I am mad. One foot in front of the other. Here I go. Ooh, bro, you're tough. You're really serious here, aren't you? Fucking relax, bro. Relax. If only, you showed 1/10 that anger at, I don't know, our illegal wars. Maybe I'm being unfair. Maybe he is angry at those two. But he had one moment with Elizabeth Warren, and this is what he chose to ask. By the way, Elizabeth Warren isn't even for eliminating all student loan debt. So you could take that anger and direct it at Bernard Sanders, where he actually will proceed to laugh in your face. Unlike her, even though you accused her of laughing in your face. Bernie will laugh at you for that, so please, go bring that anger to Bernie so we could laugh, and then we'll all mock it. But it's so silly. You're such a silly person. You're going to do a fake anger thing and walk out? How could you? How could you not agree with me on this? It's funny, the people who are right's always talking about marketplace of ideas, bro, open dialogue and discourse. And then what do? In a situation like this? I'm just going to virtue signal and grandstand and be like, debt relief is bad, and I'm not even going to hear a counter opinion on this. I'm just going to angrily walk out. Well, congratulations on being a triggered little bitch. Congratulations on being a little snowflake. Wow, you're so precious. You can't even hear a counter argument. Watch your angry walk. Here you go. So sad. So pathetic. Anyway, don't perceive this segment as defending Elizabeth Warren, because again, she doesn't even frickin' support total student loan debt relief like Bernie does. But here's what he said. My daughter is in school. I saved all my money just to pay student loans. Can I have my money back? And Elizabeth Warren says, of course not. I do like that. I'm not going to lie. That is kind of straight to the point. She seems taken aback, but she was like, no, that's not happening. Then he says, so you're going to pay for people who didn't save any money, and those of us who did the right thing get screwed? And she's kind of like, whoa. And then he angrily walks out. So I need you to stop and really reflect on the logic that he's using there. Hey, I saved my money to put my daughter through school, to pay student loans. Can I have my money back? Now, if this daughter is, let's say she's 2 years into school, and let's say this bill passes and becomes law, then those final 2 years, it would get paid for via taxes. And the amount of money you'd pay in taxes to get that back is obviously significantly less than what you're paying now. So this dude would save money in that scenario. So even if you view this from the narcissistic perspective of what about me? Okay, what about you? Just like with Medicare for All, you'll save money and get something that should have been off the table all along. If it's so outrageous, free college, then why not argue against taking away free high school too? We already have that. We have free high school. We have free middle school. We have free elementary school. Free at the point of service, paid for via taxes. We already have that in the United States of America. Nobody, not even conservatives, are angry about that. Nobody's like, this is such an outrage. How are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it? Because we go, yeah, what do you mean? We have a civilized society here, so some things are off the table, And this is one of those things. Where's the debate? Why not, instead of thinking that way with K to 12, why not think that way with K to 16? Is it really that big of a difference? Turns out, yes, it actually is a big difference, particularly because we got over $1.5 trillion in student loan debt, and people are up to their debt and eyeballs, and they can't even file for bankruptcy on that debt, so it screws them over in 1,000 different ways. Why not get rid of that and do the right thing? But this guy's like, oh yeah, what? Can I get my money back? I saved all my money to pay student loans. Guys, by this logic that this dude is using, and my buddy Omar Badr on Twitter pointed this out. Badr on Twitter, kind of like a tongue twister. He was like, so are you against like medical breakthroughs? You know, when I was young, I got sick, and I just had to deal with it. And I was stronger as a result of it at the end of it. My immune system needed to get stronger. Today, they just want to give these kids medicine, and they don't even get sick. They don't even have to go through it. Can I go back in time and get unsick, please? If they're going to have cures today, then back when I was we also should have the cures. But since we don't, why have cures now? They should struggle like I struggled. That's the logic, man. By this dude's logic, you could support frickin' the slave markets they have in Libya right now. Because think about it. If somebody is a slave, and let's say they eventually get free, they could be like, well, I had to be a slave, and I got through that, and I worked hard. Could I have my slave years back? Why would you end it? Everybody should experience what I had to experience that was bad. That seems ridiculous, right? Because it is ridiculous. Why do you think it's any different for student loan debt? A whole category of something that shouldn't even exist. That shouldn't even exist. Student loan debt shouldn't be a thing. Medical debt shouldn't be a thing. Now, if you want to disagree with that, that's fine. But you're going to have to come up with better freaking arguments than this bullshit. By this logic, you'd be against medical breakthroughs. You'd be against ending the slave markets in Libya. You'd be against any positive advancement because, hey, myself or some people in the past had to deal with the downsides of that thing, so everybody should have to deal with the downsides of that thing. Well, how about we don't improve anything ever? I'm very intelligent. No, you're a silly, little snowflake bitch, and the fact that you, angrily walked out says a lot about you. You're not interested in the discussion. You're not interested in the dialogue. You're not. You're interested in stating the things that you already believe, shutting your mind off, and grandstanding and acting like you nailed it. Well, I got bad news for you. I actually believe in the open marketplace of ideas and discourse. And when we actually hold your ideas up against other options, other ideas, you look kind of silly.